Story coming from West Asia, where Al-Qaeda's second chief in command was killed in Iran 3 months ago. Intelligence officials have confirmed the news to a US-based publication, the New York Times. Abdullah Ahmed Abdullah, who went by the name Abu Muhammad al-Masri, was accused of being one of the masterminds of the deadly 1998 attacks on American embassies in Africa. 224 Kenyans were killed in the terrorist attack. Al-Masri was shot dead by 2 assassins on the streets of Tehran on 7th of August, the same day on which the attacks took place nearly 22 years ago. The killing was carried out by Israeli operatives at the behest of the United States. But the US involvement in the incident still remains unclear, as Washington refrains from making any comments on the killing. The US had been tracking the movements of al-Masri and other Al-Qaeda operatives in Iran for many years. Al-Masri was one of the founding leaders of the extremist organization and was speculated to be the next chief of Al-Qaeda. Masri was killed along with his daughter, the widow of Osama bin Laden's son, Hamza bin Laden. For the last few months, rumors of Masri's death were doing the rounds. And now, for reasons that are still unclear, Al-Qaeda has not announced the death of one of its top leaders. Meanwhile, Iranian officials are covering it up, and no country has publicly claimed responsibility for the attack. Moving on, in a major development, France has killed senior Al-Qaeda leader during an operation in northern Mali. Armed Forces Minister Florence Parly made the announcement earlier today and said that this is a major success in the fight against terrorism. The former Malian army colonel, also known as Bamoussa Diarra, was a right-hand man of Iyad al-Ghali, the leader of Mali's most prominent jihadi group, the JNIM. French leader Parly said that the jihadist outfit was responsible for several attacks on soldiers and civilians in Mali and neighboring regions as well. Moussa, who also featured on the US terrorism list, was knocked down after an operation involving ground troops and helicopters. This comes after a series of operations which have seen French forces kill dozens of Islamist fighters in recent weeks. Now, weeks ago, the French government carried out a similar operation in which its forces had killed more than 50 jihadists which were aligned to the Al-Qaeda. The French government carried out airstrikes in central Mali in an area near the borders of Burkina Faso and Niger. This area was where the government troops are struggling to rout an Islamic insurgency attempt. The government not only neutralized more than 50 jihadists, but they also confiscated arms, materials and other vehicles. French leader of armed forces has said that the anti-jihadist operation has marked a significant blow to the Ansar al-Islam group, which she said was linked to the Al-Qaeda through the GSIM alliance led by Iyad al-Ghali. Mali has been struggling to contain a brutal jihadist insurgency attempt which first emerged in the north of the country in 2012, overtaking a rebellion by mostly ethnic Tuareg separatists. Frustration over the seemingly endless conflict contributed to mass protests against President Ibrahim Boubacar Keita this year, which led to him ousting in a military coup on August 18th. In order to curtail the terrorist activities, the United Nations has some 13,000 troops deployed in Mali as part of its peacekeeping mission known as the MINUSMA, while France has 5,100 soldiers deployed in the Sahel region.